What it do, YouTube, man? It's your boy, Janky. Ronald coming back at y'all with another reaction video, bro. Now, look. Today, we got the most 20 most terrifying moments in NFL history, bro. Now, look. Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. We already know off the rip. In my eye, I don't know if y'all got one that y'all seen in y'all like point of view, but my point of view, bro, the scariest one I've ever seen, the most terrifying was the DeMar Hamlin situation. Then right behind that, I'm gonna keep it a buck. That Deshaun Jackson versus Atlanta Falcons hit was insane. I'm gonna keep it a buck. If you never seen that hit, just go search it up whenever you get a chance. But look, man, hey, look, everybody, y'all make sure to leave a like, share, subscribe, spam that notification. Spam the like button, hit that notification button. Let's get into the video, my brother. Let's go, man.
The most terrifying moments in NFL history.
I think this is about to be a good video. This got to
and he's still on the turf, and he's not moving.
And at number 20, Trevor Lawrence's safe slide turned into the most terrifying play of the year.
Represents that.
That Trevor Lawrence hit was dirty. That was dirty.
A little bit of a scrum afterwards.
That was dirty, bro. That was
Even
dirty.
the coaches weren't safe from the danger. See, Sean McVay.
What Sean McVay do? Look at how possibly happened.
Ooh.
On the left side. Go back. You ain't fooling me, my brother.
Stuff clean.
My brother. Take a look. Go back. What I think it was number 49. Either 49 don't get no playing time, or 49 is indebted in that practice squad facility. Shout out to bro. I don't know which one is it, but I promise you, no. It's either he don't get no playing time, he's on the practice squad, or he not on the roster right now. I promise you, he did it on purpose. I promise you. It's them dudes, it's the black dudes with the dreads.
More time.
They know what they be doing, but they know what they be doing.
On the left side of
I'm surprised he didn't get knocked out.
Even the
That's like it hurt.
Violent. I mean, at number 18, they almost went up in flames. Look, Tennessee lost control of their fire machines and nearly burnt the stadium to a crisp. Now, they had every reason to be
terrified. That looked cool, though.
Eric Berry's nightmare was something you wouldn't believe, because one of the most ferocious safeties of all time was
I'm the Eric Berry.
Scariest match yet.
Hold up, hold that horse out there. You need to go ahead with that horse now.
Eric Berry is scared of horses?
I ain't worried about the tick, I'm worried about the horse.
Dude had no reason to be so dramatic.
Why is he scared of a horse? Like,
Number 16 took it to the next level. See, a group of kids were trying to get some autographs when security warned them that it could get dangerous.
Dangerous? How? Ooh! Did he get caught?
Go back to your seats. Everybody back to their seats. This kid just failed.
Deshaun Warden had nothing to do with it.
No, go back. I'm sorry. Go back. No, I'm sorry, man. That was funny. Not the fact that he failed. Not the fact that he failed. I'm talking about the security guard. Why are you talking like that? Go back to your seats. This kid just failed.
Go back to your seats. Everybody back to their seats. This kid just failed. Back to your seats.
Hey, bro, they geeking for that Mahomes. They geeking for that Mahomes. Got that
He
autograph.
turned into a hero.
I just kind of pushed him into the stands a little bit to brace his fall because I seen him coming down head first.
That kid was going headfirst into a tragedy. But Gary
that'd be
Kubiak
crazy. That'd
wasn't
be
so
crazy,
lucky.
bro.
Because at number 15, we've got a moment that had an entire stadium holding its breath. I mean, Coach Gary Kubiak almost didn't make it off the field alive. See, the Texans were playing the Colts, and when the teams were headed for their locker rooms at halftime, Kubiak collapsed. Coach was taken off on a stretcher and was rushed to the hospital with everyone afraid he was having a heart attack. Luckily, the doctors worked fast, and it turned out Kubiak had suffered a stroke and narrowly escaped tragedy.
Hey, prayers up, bro. Hope he's still good now.
Number 14, they thought it was game over. See, Mike Hilton replaced the Bengals mannequin and had his teammates seeing ghosts. That got scary.
Hold on, go back. Look, hold on, go back. I'm sorry.
See, Mike
We gotta talk about it.
Had his teammates seeing ghosts.
Now hold on. Now I'm not the dumbest dude. You know what I'm saying? Well, no, actually, I'm not the smartest. You know what I'm saying? I graduated school with a 0.2 GPA. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all probably like, how is that possible? Don't worry about it. Shout out to Barrel. Shit, as soon as I would have looked at this dude or looked at the supposed mannequin, I'm automatically knowing that this is a prank. Why do we have a 5'7" mannequin in the locker room? That don't even make sense. Like, come on, man. We storing 5'7" mannequins in the locker room, bro, for no reason. Like, that's obvious, bro. That's obvious. That's obvious.
Now that got scary. But what happened at number 13 was no joke. See, Rashad Johnson made one of the most terrifying bloody messes in NFL history. And it all started with a routine play until he lost a piece of his body.
We punt the ball down, and I'm going to cover it. Darren Sproles is the returner.
He lost a piece of his body.
On the return. of the punt by Zastanil. Breaks a couple of tackles.
I initiate a blocker, and in that moment when I initiate him, I just shed away and go in to make the tackle.
Now he knew something was wrong immediately. But when he got to the sideline, he found out something was missing.
Pain is getting worse. And I look down, and before I know it, my white glove is fire hot red. It's blood everywhere. I come off the field, you know, just thinking like, hey, maybe I lost the nail. Maybe, you know, something happened there. They've taken the glove off, thrown it in the trash can, and from my nail portion up in my left middle finger, it's completely severed.
My man was shocked.
What?
He was still missing the rest of his finger. And just when he thought it couldn't get worse, the trainers had to dig through the trash can looking for the missing piece.
They look down in the trash can and they're digging, they pull it out, and the glove is still intact, you know, it's normal. And they're like, well, let's just cut on up the finger and see. And they cut up the finger and it just falls right there on the table.
Now, this would have been enough to make you retire. But Rashad showed that he was built different, because he refused surgery and suited up to play the very next week.
I was kind of at that point like, let's just go and let's just shave it back and keep it going. I don't think I want to try and reattach.
And if that wasn't enough,
What?
Rashad turned the whole
Nah,
thing into
bruh.
a movement, showing the world what it
Hey, what y'all would have done right there, bro? If your whole finger gone, man, I'm like, hey, coach, look, you gotta put me on IR. I just lost a whole finger for you, and I'm only getting paid $200,000 a game. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, bro. I'm not going back out there. Put me on 4-game IR. I'm sorry. You took hell
to
no,
turn
man.
pain into
No.
power.
The guy made T-shirts that saying that he got 9 more fingers, and everybody wore it under their shoulder pads for the rest of the year and all of that.
Yeah, Rashad came back stronger. But at number 12, imagine
Wow.
almost being left with permanent brain damage.
Wow.
Austin Collie suffered head trauma that didn't just change his career. It changed the
Yeah,
entire
Collie-
NFL's
yeah, Collie
approach
was
to
a-
player
he
safety
got
forever.
crazy.
Now, Collie quickly became one of Peyton Manning's favorite weapons. But one play against the Eagles left him
my
knocked
God, oh
out
my
cold.
God. Oh my God, bro. That is. He always used to get knocked out.
Sparked concern across the nation. But just weeks later, he returned to the exact same horrors.
Oh my God!
Oh, Collie is down again.
And just
See,
like that,
no, I'm
Collie
sorry,
was
bro.
out
This is exactly why Jaden Daniels is better than Peyton Manning. I'm sorry.
the rest of the year and was never the same player again. And I don't know if I'd be the same.
Peyton Manning
player
throwing
if I had to
hospital
play for
balls.
what's at number 11. I'm talking about when players had to play the biggest
the
game of the
hell?
season in the worst weather in NFL history. See, the Cowboys faced the Green Bay Packers in the 1967 NFL Championship in the game iconically known as the Ice Bowl.
American football, it was the coldest game ever played.
Okay.
Somebody
What
froze
was
to
it?
death in the stands. The players' fingers all froze. They couldn't get their cleats to go into the ground. And it was as cold as it is at the North Pole.
Negative
I mean,
15?
the temperature reached down to negative 14 degrees, leaving fans and players at risk for frostbite.
Who is playing in negative 15?
That I did not want to play. I had numbness in all the tips of my fingers for 6 weeks after the game.
And mine came in at my toes. And it's almost like your circulation has stopped.
And in these conditions,
Nah,
players' equipment
I'm
were
not gonna
frozen,
lie.
referee whistles were even broken.
The most I've ever came in, I said came in, oh my God. The most that I've ever played in, like cold wise, bro, had to been like, I say, maybe like 30, I want to say like 30, 40, bro. That was cold. Could you imagine playing at negative,
And
bro?
they had to yell for the whole game. It got so cold, concession stands and even bathrooms froze. Green Bay took the title with a 21-17 dogfight. But the worst of it all was that one fan froze to death. And even with that type
What?
of tragedy, there still isn't a limit to the temperature NFL players play in. Yeah, the NFL could care less about players freezing to death. But at number 10, we've got to talk
that's
about the most
football, bro. It's
terrifying
football,
fan
bro.
ever seen. See, this is Chiefsaholic, and he became the Chiefs' biggest superfan by becoming an outlaw. I mean, this dude was on the front row in his wolf costume at every home game
this?
and away game, and had his own fans on social media. But one game against the Texans in Houston, Chiefsaholic was nowhere to be found. And this had the Chiefs fans worried. But hours after the game, a Bixby, Texas news station reported that a man in a wolf costume was arrested for robbing people at gunpoint.
A Bixby bank robbery
What?
is getting a ton of attention because Kansas City Chiefs fans are convinced the suspect in the Tulsa County Jail is a popular Chiefs superfan.
He was
Superfan
what?
who fans think robbed the bank is known as Chiefsaholic. He attends almost every game. But when he didn't make it to the Chiefs and Texas game last Sunday, fans were worried. So they took to social media to get to the bottom of it and then realized they might have found his mugshot.
And fans recognized
Nah,
who it was
that's
immediately.
crazy.
See, after some further investigation into Javier Babidar, it turned out he was hiding even more, because he went through 7 states and completed 11 bank robberies for a total of $847,000.
Bruh was doing GTA heist, but in real life.
Yeah, that was enough for this dude to be put behind bars for 17 years. Dude was a monster under that mask. But at number 9, David Njoku was hiding behind a mask too. See, it was the middle of the 2023 NFL season when a simple meditation session in front of the fire almost left David fried.
Setting up the bonfire, and I ran out of my normal lighter fluid that I used to soak the wood, so I used this other one. It was a spray instead of like one that you pour. I sprayed it down, waited a little bit, and I guess the lighter fluid were still in the air, so when I lit it up, just exploded.
And this wasn't just a regular injury, because his second-degree burns throughout his body was the worst anyone could go through.
I diagnosed it as about a 17 to 18% total body surface area burn of second-degree partial thickness.
Okay.
Probably the most painful burn you could have. My recommendation was just to not play.
But it was just days before the Browns played their division
He played in that?
The Baltimore Ravens. So this game was personal. However, he still looked like he came straight out of a fire. So he came to the game with his face hidden. Yeah, bro was still going through it. But once the ball kicked off, Njoku straight balled out with 6 catches through the most stinging pains of his life. And when the final buzzer sounded, Njoku wasn't hiding anymore. He let the world see his war wounds.
After the game, when I took my helmet off and I looked myself in the face, and it
Wow, that that is disgusting, chat. No, chat. That's bad, bro. Bro, what? Fam, could y'all imagine how bad his face stings, bruh?
was just tore up.
And he played through that, bruh?
Said, I want people to see this. I want people to understand, what I went through.
His story was so courageous that he became a voice for burn victims across the nation.
There was so many DMs and messages of burn victims that are scared to show their face, just went forth to, I guess to make them feel a little better about themselves. Things happen, mistakes happen, and you gotta just put your best foot forward.
He battled through an injury never before seen, but there was no.
And all his skin just came back like it looked normal.
At number 8,
like it never happened.
The most spectacular play of his life, all for it to end in the most twisted way imaginable.
And Miller is still
It was one of the most catastrophic sights ever seen on the field, and Miller was at risk for having his leg amputated.
As we got in the ambulance, they were taking
He was
my
a
shoe
dog
off,
too.
cutting my socks off to check for a pulse, and could kind of tell just from the look of it. There was no, oh, hey, we got this, that. It was, you don't have a pulse in your foot, and we have to fix that. Sid Dreyer is one of our assistant athletic trainers. He told the EMTs, like, there's no way you're taking us to that hospital. So he pulled out his phone and found the level 1 trauma center 5 minutes from us. And then I just remember telling Doc, like, do not cut my leg off, please. They hit me with the mask, and I cashed out for a little bit.
See, Miller popped a blood vessel that supplies blood to the lower leg, so he was rushed to the hospital immediately for emergency surgery. And it wasn't the last of his nightmare, because he had to go in for 9 total surgeries and still was never able to make it back to an NFL field again.
He was a dog too,
If I'm physically able to do it, I'd love to do it. Am I cool if I don't?
Yeah.
Out of my hands.
NFL players always have to plan for their careers to end at any moment. But imagine being terrified of your own teammate. Because at number 7, we have one of the most insane players in NFL history. Now, Bill Romanowski was already known for being a loose cannon. But what he did at the Raiders training camp in 2003, it was straight up psychotic. See, with players trying to make the team, training camp fights are just another day. And at tight end, Marcus Williams was simply doing his job at practice. Now, when the play started, he went to block Romanowski. But as soon as he made contact, Bill grabbed him by the neck while Williams threw his hands in the air to indicate he was not trying to fight. However, Bill threw Williams' helmet off and punched Williams until he chipped his tooth and...
See, that's segregate, man. Segregate. I'm not even about to, shall we? No, I ain't even about to say too much. I ain't even about to say too much.
Shattered his eye socket. And Romanowski stood over Williams and said, "Don't you ever hold me."
The Raiders defense has gotten their ass kicked the past couple weeks. So
I need to see what, I want to see what the other dude's face look like. What his face look like? What do his face look like?
In practice, I had it happen to me at the Raiders, and I got in a fight. Hey, I've gotten in a lot of fights, but I had never hurt a teammate. And I hurt a teammate.
Now, Williams was rushed to the hospital, and after sitting there for 2 days, he thought his playing days might be over. But Williams wasn't just about to let it slide, so he lawyered up and took Romo to court, where Romanowski had to cop up $350K in damages, basically a year's salary at the time, and later paid another $75,000 to avoid more legal drama. But as wild as Romanowski's trial was, it's nothing compared to the chaos surrounding Ray Lewis at number 6. Because one of the hardest-hitting players in NFL history didn't just terrify his opponents, he terrified the entire league by being charged with murder. Now, when Ray stepped into the league, he immediately became a superstar. So with a $25 million contract and the nation watching him, he wasn't just a regular guy anymore. And in 2000, during Super Bowl weekend in Atlanta, there was nothing but trouble outside. Because after the big game, Ray and his crew decided to hit up the town and turn up. But this wasn't your average entourage. His boys included Joseph Sweeting, a strip club owner, and Reginald Oakley, another guy from back home. And these weren't exactly the type of dudes to keep things low-key. So after leaving a nightclub, things took a dark turn. While heading to their car, an argument broke out with two men, Richard Laurel and Joseph Baker. And what started as trash talk escalated into absolute chaos. And moments later, both men were lying in a pool of blood. See, Ray's friends had just purchased pocket knives from Ray's autograph signing at a sporting goods store earlier that day. And it wasn't long before Ray and his boys were arrested. Now, this immediately became one of the NFL's craziest controversies ever. I mean, while the Ravens were starting off their offseason...
Could y'all imagine Ray Lewis in jail, bro? Like, what? That is insane.
...in practices, the future of their league was being charged with murder.
That was insane.
Lewis pleaded guilty for obstruction of justice, but it was clear that the investigators wanted him gone for life. But Sweeting and Oakley were acquitted of murder by self-defense.
That's crazy, bro.
12 days in jail.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Around. He walked away with his freedom, but not without the scars of a moment that would follow him forever.
Man, let me tell you something. I learned a lot.
So how he wasn't found guilty? So I'm confused. Could somebody explain it? Like, so I'm confused, bro. Like, was he a part of the, or did somebody get, cause I really heard it, but I wasn't really listening. What happened?
Yeah. Put your trust in no man, and definitely put your trust in no system, because that ain't what's gonna pull you out at the end of the day. It's how you deal with it. And man, I've saw so much death that if anybody ever had a glimpse of what I've seen before that, they know I'm the last person that's about to create death.
I'm about to say, yeah.
I was built and born to give life. That's what my whole
Ray Lewis
and
a good
everything
guy.
is all about.
Yeah, Ray will have to live with that for the rest of his life.
Because Ray Lewis is a good guy. I don't think he'll do nothing like that. That's crazy. That's
so
insane.
Fortunate, because Chris Henry's tragedy became a lesson for the entire
R.P.
NFL.
Chris Henry.
See, in 2009, Henry had just turned his life around. After years of being labeled as the NFL's bad boy for countless suspensions and legal issues, the dude was finally maturing. I mean, he was engaged, had kids, and was ready to leave the drama behind him. But his story took a chilling turn no one saw coming. It all went down during a fight with his fiancée, Mulangi Tonga, at her parents' house. And things got so heated, Tonga tried to drive away in her truck, but Henry wasn't having it. He jumped into the bed of the truck, banging on the windows, begging her to stop. Witnesses said he was yelling for her to pull over. But before anyone could process what was happening, Henry lost his balance, fell out, and hit the pavement hard. The injuries were devastating. He was rushed to the hospital, but less than 24 hours later, he was gone.
Beyond football,
That's
Chris
sad,
was a
bro.
father,
That's
engaged
sad,
to be married,
bro.
and a man with a bright future. Now his life has been cut short by an accident police are really still trying to sort out.
And just like that, a young man with a second chance at life had it all ripped away. What's even scarier,
That's sad, bro.
autopsy revealed Henry was suffering from CTE, despite just being 26 years old. And there was one teammate who took this news the hardest, Chad Ochocinco.
Chris was a very good friend of mine. Really extremely close. It's sad.
That's sad, bro. That's sad.
To see that it's come to this point. That's to say, he was doing everything right. He's been doing everything right. My grandma always say you never really question the man upstairs on decision he makes, because he never makes mistakes, but...
So when the Bengals stepped out for their next game, Chad made sure his teammate would be remembered.
It don't matter where or how. If you get RP, man. RP Chris Henry. RP Chris Henry, man.
Chris's story became one of the most haunting examples of the dangers NFL players face, both on and off the field. But at number 4, an entire stadium nearly watched a man die. See, one hit, Ricardo Lockett was on the brink of never being able to move again. So he was just out there trying to make a play until he got hit like a train wreck. Lockett was on the ground without any motion. Ricardo didn't even think he could get up, so he sent a prayer.
We're kind of fighting and we're running. And I'm like, okay, I got him. Typical. Bam, got him off of me, and I look to my left. It's like a car wreck. Like everything.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie, that hit, bro. Looking from the eye, so probably in the moment, bro, that hit is probably crazy. But from the TV point of view, bro, that don't even look like it hurt. Like, kid, do this shit like it hurt, bro?
Off of me, and I look to my
Damn. Like, it like he just caught him. Like, he just caught him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just caught him.
Wreck. Like, everything was in slow motion, and I'm laying on the ground. I can't feel anything. I could just move my eyes. So I'm just laying on the ground and I'm just praying. I said, Lord, please, if you give me another chance, I'll change my life and I'll change others as well.
And his faith came through, because on his way back to the locker room, his feeling came back. Now, once Lockett got to the hospital, it was clear that his playing days were done, because he suffered a devastating neck injury, all because of the danger of the game. And he had every reason to be upset at the world, but he knows the world is far bigger than football.
Did anybody from the Dallas organization reach out to see if you were all right?
I talked to Heath that night.
Oh, he did talk to you that night?
Yeah, he called me. He called the hospital room, and I told him, I said, don't worry about it, man. I said, you're a warrior. You're a dog just like I'm a dog. We play the game with the passion, and you continue to do that.
That's real. That's real.
Family. Don't
That's
worry
real.
about me.
So you didn't see this as a dirty hit?
No, it wasn't. It
It's
wasn't.
football.
I would say that wasn't
I know
dirty
what I
hit.
signed up for, and that's just what comes with it. I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me. I don't blame anybody for what happened to me.
Now, Ricardo retired early, but he used his experience to become an expert in making the game safer by joining Harvard's health study. Wow. This dude changed his life to save the game
Harvard.
he loved, to try to stop
I got accepted to Harvard. I want to say my 10th grade.
moments like number 3. See, this one awkward tackle left the nation terrified, because Reggie Brown took a bone-crushing hit that left him breathless.
Here's the injury. His helmet jammed down into the shoulders.
Reggie dropped to the ground, lost control of his limbs, and wasn't breathing. I mean, the hit was so bad, Reggie was going to need a hero to save him. And it came from someone who had no idea what he was doing.
I'm an orthopedic surgeon, so we're not usually saving people's lives directly.
And it was only his second year as the team doctor, and he was in control of whether Reggie lived or died. Now, he didn't have any tools and used the only method he could think of, going mouth to mouth. This
Why?
guy
Oh, no. Go ahead and knock this out the way right now, my brother. Yo, chat. I'm letting y'all know now. Let me ask y'all a question. If there is a life or death situation, and you have a man medic, you have a man assistant doctor or whatever, he goes in the field, you're out of breath. CPR, understandable. Mouth to mouth as a man, I'm sorry. Let me be. I'm sorry. Look, I'm not even trying to be. That's not. I'm just saying. I don't want another man lips on mine. You know what I'm saying? That's not. Shout out to bro. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you can, shout out to bro. But if you got to do, let me go. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk later. You know what I'm saying? That ain't happening.
Did not return to breathing on his own until we were almost to the hospital.
His doctors had to perform emergency surgery to fuse his spine together, and Reggie was never able to play again. But he escaped death and was able to still live just like you and me. And that was something Sha Taylor wasn't able to reach at number 2, because the world was robbed of one of the greatest NFL talents ever, in a tragedy nobody could have predicted. See, in just 4 years, Sha Taylor became one of the most versatile and hard-hitting safeties to ever grace the gridiron. I mean, he was every quarterback's worst nightmare and rose to become a fan favorite. But on November 26, 2007, Taylor was recovering from a knee injury at his home in Miami. And while most of his teammates were gearing up for their next game, Taylor was resting with his girlfriend and their 18-month-old daughter. That's when terror arrived at his door, because 4 teenage intruders broke into his house in the dead of night. And when Taylor confronted them, they fired a single fatal shot, hitting his femoral artery. The All-Pro safety was rushed to the hospital, but despite hours of surgery, he couldn't be saved.
Washington Redskins safety Sha Taylor died this morning at a Miami hospital after being shot in his Florida home. The 24-year-old was airlifted to the hospital early Monday after someone broke through the couple's bedroom door and fired 2 shots. One bullet hit Taylor in the upper leg, damaging an artery and causing the massive blood loss that took his life.
And just like that, the NFL world was shattered. Taylor's death rocked the league to its core, and his team honored him by playing their next game with just 10 men on defense, leaving his safety position empty for one symbolic play.
Washington has only 10 players on defense. Reed Doughty is the guy who's expected to replace Sean Taylor.
This is a sad situation, bro. It's sad, bro.
Dude became one of the biggest what-ifs in NFL history and left those he loved with a piece of them.
He ain't a what-if. I'm going to keep it a buck. As long as Sean Taylor was alive, bro, as long as he played in the NFL, bro, he left his mark. Now, I ain't gonna lie, it is a what-if situation. Like, what could he have been if he would have played till he was like 30 or something? But, like, he left his mark, bro. He left his mark. He left his mark at 24, chat. Bro, chat, he left his mark at 24. Some people get drafted nowadays at 23. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Forever. But now we've hit
That's
the most
crazy,
terrifying moment on our list. And there hasn't been a city who's dealt with loss like New Orleans. Now, when you think of the New Orleans Superdome, you picture roaring crowds, Drew Brees lifting the Lombardi Trophy, or other iconic NFL moments.
Was that the same year?
August
Did they win the Super Bowl the same year, right?
The Superdome became the site of a living nightmare because Hurricane Katrina had ripped through New Orleans, forcing thousands to the only place that could weather the storm. And what should have been a place of safety turned into absolute chaos. See, as the storm intensified, parts of the Superdome's roof peeled away, water poured in, and the power failed.
Early that Monday morning, all of a sudden I just hear some kind of like loud sound like boom. Then you hear some rumbling like brr. Then the rumbling just get like boom. You know, it was starting to bat and beat on
Hurricane
top of
Katrina
the
was that
dome.
bad?
But from that point,
wait,
you know,
Chat, Hurricane Katrina was that bad? I never been a part of. Well, I've been a part of one hurricane, but it wasn't like a Category 5 type stuff. It was like a I wouldn't say like a little one. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just raining crazy hard. You know what I'm saying? It was that bad.
Starting to slowly seep in, and then the hole got bigger. Then the water just started coming in and pouring in, and then it wasn't one hole. Then another hole opened up. Oh, that water starting to mash them over there now.
Over 20,000 evacuees were crammed inside with no air conditioning, limited food, and restrooms that exploded. I mean, the conditions were so bad that they were described as apocalyptic.
A lot of different things.
Where did they use the bathroom?
You know, inside the dome. It just got real crazy. You know, the smell was really, really horrific. You're talking like after the first day, the toilets was already backed up. And not having, you know, drinking water and all that other stuff was just kind of like real, real bad. I watched a lot of people suffer. I seen people like unattended, elders like just sitting in place for like days at a time, not moving.
That's crazy.
And once the hurricane subsided, the Saints had a new symbol of purpose in representing their city. Now, the team had to play the entire 2005 season away from home, with the Superdome becoming unusable. But in 2006, the Saints returned to a repaired Superdome, kicking off their home opener by restoring hope to New Orleans.
Ooh! I think that's the dude that got like ALS, something like that. Reed Dowdy, something like that.
And from that day on, Saints fans became some of the most passionate fan bases in all of sports because their city went through a terrifying moment like none
lit.
other.
They stood together, bro. That's lit. Hey, man, we gotta react to this. That was crazy. I ain't finna cap. Hey, man, that was a great video, man. Y'all make sure y'all leave a like, share, subscribe, bro. Turn that notification button on, bro. And I'll see y'all next video.